I'm sure everyone knows Liverpool's season has not gone the way they thought it would this year, as they spent $500 million this summer and somehow sit mid-table in the Premier League. But don't worry, I am here to save the day. I'm taking over as Liverpool manager for the rest of the season. I'm not deluded enough to say we can win the league, but my goal is to finish the season by winning the UCL. So I am going to sim to the end of January to see where we finish in the league phase, and we finished 5th, meaning we are in the round of 16. But in the league, we are still doing mid. Anyway, our opponent is Barcelona, and the first leg ended as a draw. I think it is risky to simulate the second leg, so I am going to play it. To be fair, conceding a big chance in the first 3 minutes is very on brand for Liverpool this season. I am beginning to think I would have been better off simulating the game instead. This Barca team is worse at finishing than I am. Okay, that previous statement might have been a lie. And as you can see from the stats, we're pretty lucky not to be 1-0 down already. Maybe playing on Legendary is too difficult for me. So we are now going to extra time as there was no goals in the first 90 minutes. Also, I only created 0.3 expected goals. If I somehow win this, it might go down as one of the most haramball victories ever. I genuinely almost had a heart attack in this moment, and I honestly have no clue how, but we somehow won the game. Okay, so after that game of haramball, we face Man City in the quarters, and it was a risk to simulate both games, but we advanced. So our opponents in the semi-finals are Inter from Timu, and after drawing the first leg 1-1, I decided it is time I play the match again. It's really going to be one of those games again, isn't it?
I'm kind of retarded.
In the words of Didier Drogba, it's a f***ing disgrace. This is the biggest act of justice since Martin Luther King spoke his dream into history. Honestly, scoring a goal has never felt as good as it does right now, especially after that penalty. I can't believe it took 180 minutes for me to concede my first goal of the video. So after all of that, we're ironically in a penalty shootout. I've already saved one, so this should be easy. That seriously might be the worst penalty I have ever seen. Justice has officially been served. So after that penalty shootout, we are facing Atletico in the final. Also, if anyone cares, we went out in the semis of the FA Cup and finished 7th in the league, but none of this will matter if we can win the UCL final. But before we play the match, you guys know I have to do the traditional pre-game motivational team talk. Allison, you've already won man of the match in a UCL final. Who says you can't do it a second time? Frimpong, I know you were signed to replace Trent, but you don't have to copy the position he makes when Jude Bellingham walks into the room. Konate, in real life, your season has been an absolute disaster, but winning this UCL final will erase that from everyone's memory. Van Dijk, your season so far has been nothing but memes, but today you can remind us why you are one of the best defenders of all time. Charlie Kirkes, I don't know what kind of pose this is, but if you play like you did for Bournemouth today, then everything will be all right. Gravenberch, all season long the talk has been about Rice and Caicedo, but tonight you remind us why you're the only one of the three with a Premier League medal. McAllister, I swear you have ginger hair in real life, so that begs the question, why isn't your hair ginger right now? Mohamed Salah, after what has happened in the last week, I have had to step in and make a new speech for you. For the past 8 seasons, you've been world-class, the top scorer and top assister in almost every season for the club too, yet all it took was 1 week for people to turn their backs on you. Even if you don't score in this game, it doesn't matter. You've already given everything for this club. Cody Gakpo, you've been just as bad as Mo Salah this season, yet you somehow avoided being benched. Honestly, I just felt like I had to say that. Actually, you know what? This is turning into a roast instead of motivation. Florian Wirtz, you've simply been awful this season, to the point where people at your club are using an all-time great like Salah as a scapegoat for your bad form. And Alexander Isak, You've somehow been just as underwhelming. Also, EA, when are you going to update his haircut? He hasn't had this trim since he was playing at Dortmund. Okay, after all of that, it's finally time to play the game. I think I got a bit carried away turning it into a roast, but hopefully it fuels the players. Thank God I didn't roast Allison. Okay, maybe Carragher was right when he said Salah was finished. Letting Conor Gallagher score in a UCL final would have been a war crime, so thank God Allison saved that. I am beginning to think that roasting the team wasn't a good idea for the squad's overall morale. That seriously might be the worst finesse shot I've ever seen from a player who has the finesse shot plus playstyle. If someone could please explain to me what the hell Allison was doing after he saved that shot, I'd be grateful. May I remind you all that this guy is the most expensive player in Premier League history. No way Florian Wirtz has scored more goals in this video than he has in real life for Liverpool. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the first half, and I have to admit we're lucky to have the score at 1-1. The most concerning thing about this is that we have let Conor Gallagher get a goal and assist in a UCL final. Sorloth would have scored that if he was facing Barcelona. Where the hell are the players in my box? The fact that Gallagher could have had a hat-trick in this game says it all. I am low-key happy to lose this. Yeah, honestly, let's pack this up. I'd rather have Cody Rhodes on the wing than Cody Gakpo at this point. Today I learnt that having the finesse shot plus playstyle means nothing unless you are playing Ultimate Team. Before the game ended, I had to at least let out my anger with a foul. So there we have it. We lost the UCL final, and I can't really argue against it. And I'd be lying if I said it doesn't bring a smile to my face to see Atletico finally win the UCL, as they came close so many times before. Wait a second. Are you telling me Gallagher not only got man of the match, but is also their captain? Bro really became the main character in this video out of nowhere. Anyway, please like the video if you want more vids like this.